sin. I'm a big Calvinist, I'm a big, you're all terrible, right? No, is that simply, very simply, sin for me is a name for lack. That's all it is. It's not about chewing gum and going out with girls who do or anything like that. It's ontologically, philosophically, it's the word for lack, separation. Separation, that's it. Don't think moral at all, right? Sin is separation. Original sin means original separation, i.e. there is an original lack that's part of being human. Now, of course, I'm not talking how they talk in churches. This is not, I'm using existentialism here. But I think that there's a really key insight here, which is to be human is to experience a lack, right? So that's the ontological dimension of sin, which is basically at the core of our human beings, there is a lack. Don't think ethical, don't think moral, nothing like that. It is a philosophical, theological category. There's a gap, and I've explained what I think that is. There's an ontic dimension, which is then that connects, that sense of lack connects with something. I go, if only I had enough money, then I'd fill that lack. If only there weren't any immigrants in our country, then we'd be fine. If only we build that wall and keep the baddies out, then it will be fine, right? There is then this general sense of lack connects with something concrete in the world. And then the moral is the third element. The moral comes in a sense of you will destroy yourself, or you will destroy others, or you will destroy the environment in order to fill that lack. That for me is the moral dimension of sin, is any activity you do to frantically fill the lack in your being. Right? And so, for example, this is the death drive. This is why you can say human beings are very the problem is not selfishness. Often the problem is selflessness. In other words, zombies are selfless. Zombies will keep attacking you even if you shoot them. You shoot them. The alien in Aliens, I'm doing a discussion on Prometheus in a few weeks in New York. I'm very excited about it. The alien in Aliens is the personification of this selflessness. The alien will keep coming at you whether you shoot it or whatever, right? There is this weird thing, like Ayn Rand says, we're selfish. And you know what? If we can make that work for the world, brilliant. You selfishly go after what you want, and that's good. But actually, the problem is we cannot be selfish sometimes. If you meet somebody who's very wealthy, and they've got $20 million, $100 million, if they were selfish, they'd stop, and they'd enjoy it, right? But some people keep pursuing more and more to the detriment of their health, to the detriment of their family, to the detriment of their well-being, and they know it. It's not that they don't know it. It's like then they die and their kids enjoy the money. Or someone who wants fame and they get an album, but then they have to produce another one and win another award, another award. And if they were selfish, they'd stop. Hey, just buy the house in Malibu, go swim, right? But they can't. That's called the death drive, is a perverse selflessness. In a sense of, it's a really weird thing where we destroy ourselves, where you keep going out with people who hurt you. And not only do you keep going out with people who hurt you, you want it. As in, why do you do it, right? You realize that, oh yeah, if this person doesn't treat me with disdain, I find myself doing things that will make them treat me with disdain, or I find myself not being attracted to them. Now, that's not bad or good. That sometimes tells us that there is something we have to work through. That there's something in us that is destroying us. Now, you can, by the way, end up going out with someone who hurts you, and you don't want that, and who's disdainful, or who's an alcoholic, or whatever, and that's different. But sometimes we find ourselves just being attracted to assholes, right? It's not that we just find ourselves by mistake going out with an asshole. We find ourselves actually kind of not being attracted to the people who are nice, but only being attracted to the people who aren't. Then we have to ask ourselves, why am I hurting myself? Why am I destroying? That's the perverse death drive. To be human, we can often hurt ourselves, pursue things that we know will destroy us, that kill us, and hurt other people. But it's the frenetic pursuit of trying to fill this lack. That is what I think original sin means. And in the church, often people talk about the payment of debt. Because remember, debt is lack. Debt is a lack of something. To pay the debt is to fill it. But I think Christianity says we have to forgive the debt, which means you don't fill it, you don't pay it, You render it nothing. The nothingness that is something, the lack that you experience in your life that's so painful and destructive often and causes all this anxiety and all this pain, we have to somehow make peace with it. We have to forgive it. Make peace with that. So in other words, it's not about being whole and complete. It's about being at peace with our brokenness, our fracturedness, our not at oneness with ourselves. And when we can do that, that can cause genuine transformation in individuals, in whole communities, and in whole societies.